Hey, and we are back.
Hey.
Well, I'm back.
Yeah, he's definitely back.
I'm definitely back. Back and I'm black. Yeah.
Ain't right about that part.
Welcome to another installment of BrickWall Reviews. You already know who I am, but joined here I have the wonderful, awesome, beautiful Sam in the house. Woo, 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 woo. It feels like it's been a long time since we've been here. Same time, same location.
Not same location. It actually has been.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. I should have left you. But I don't beat the step two. I ain't gonna do all that. Put that back in. But yeah, what's up, guys? Myself and Dave are back together for BrickWall Reviews.
Yep, and tonight we are going to be talking about Mortal Kombat, the 2021 release of Mortal Kombat, now available on HBO Max and in
also
theaters.
In theaters.
Yes.
Theaters.
Which, like I said before, it's not a bad trip there, so if you can.
Well, I mean, for those who didn't see the last review, what I'll say about it, I was nervous as hell. I was like, man, shit. I'm like, what? I'm like, he's got to get me to go out, right? But, once I walked in, the damn popcorn was smelling so good. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Yo, they had that popcorn right today.
They did. Shout out Cinemark. Shout out Cinemark. Y'all did it right.
But, it's practically like guidelines everywhere. So, I mean, it is perfectly spaced out. Mm-hmm. You're not sitting up on each other. There's room and all of that. So, hand sanitizing stations. Social distancing is strictly enforced. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's great experience.
Nobody was in there coughing because I was gonna have to slap a bitch.
I heard one cough, but it was so brief that if you didn't hear it, it was a brief cough.
They must have been choking on the kernel or something.
Right. Even I tried not to cough. I'm like,
bro, you may be about to die not to cough. Like,
in today's times, we do encourage if you're going to be safe and if you're feeling well and if you're willing to follow guidelines.
Look, in any state, if you don't feel well, keep your ass at home. Regardless of it being COVID, because there's other sicknesses that can go around. So if you don't feel well, keep your ass at home. Mm-hmm. Damn.
Yep, definitely do that. So tonight,
I wanted to say keep your dumb ass at home. No, I want to say what. Keep your motherfucking ass at home. Shit, about to piss me off.
I still have a meme now I could use that says "Take your punk ass in the house" and it has Popeye the Sailor in the middle of it. Don't make me bring that meme back out. But
Mortal Kombat
2021 version.
When was I should have looked to see when other one. I want to say
it came out in the 90s. Yeah,
it came out. I think it was 95. It definitely came out in the 90s. So anyway, we're not gonna talk about that one yet. But the recent Mortal Kombat movie, as expressed, came out this Friday on HBO Max and in theaters as well. So you can pick your poison. So I don't know. How do I feel about this? I like that. I've seen a lot of people say that they don't like this, but I kind of enjoy this.
Yeah, I also thought it was decent after watching it a second time and letting it sit down and manifest with them, because at first you were there, I was like, okay, it could have been a little better. It could have had more action.
Because I think, like I said, when I watch these things, I try to go into it with an open mind, like not to be opinionated, regardless of me reading reviews or whatever, just to try to have a clear mind on what it's bringing.
Yeah, I stay completely away from reviews because I know it's gonna warp my.
No, I can't even say that he did that or whatever, because he was just going, "That's not how he is. That's not." Yeah, how
okay.
He is.
So
he was just going in.
So one of my major problems I had, and before I get into this, make sure you guys hit that like button down below and subscribe to our channel for more content. Forgot to throw that out there. So one of my main problems I had with this was at first I didn't like the portrayal of Raiden. I thought Raiden in this movie was portrayed as a major asshole, and I was like, Raiden is not this much of an asshole. But after watching the movie through and through, and we'll kind of touch on that a bit later, I was like, okay, it makes sense.
No. He said that after watching the second time.
After watching the second
first time, he was just over it. But at the end of the day, just to be realistic about the film, I mean, the Mortal Kombat players or people involved, they're new to this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, we have Sub-Zero who's older in battle, but for the most part, with Liu Kang, that's his name, whatever. I'm Sonya Blade, all of them, they're new to this. Like, they're just finding out what this is and how to go about doing it. So they're not seasoned.
Yeah, it's definitely and me and you, we talked about this too. We said it's definitely a first part in what could be a trilogy. And it's so blatantly a first part that even when I watched it the second time, when I got done the first time, I was like, okay, this is gonna have more.
I'm about to say.
But when I went back and watched it the second time, I was like, oh no, this is definitely setting up for a lot more movies in this. And it's so obvious.
It is. And you know, even though they didn't like come out and just say like this is the beginning, you know that this is the beginning based off of certain players having to find their chi.
Yeah, I'm gonna say chi. It was some bigger word.
Having to find that power within themselves. Mm-hmm. So this will let us know that it's the beginning. And like I said, even when we went to theaters today to see Demon Slayer, woo 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 woo, yo, check it out. But in that, so I had to run back to a little concession stand real quick, and I heard people talking about it, like I was expecting more blood, more gore. It wasn't exactly what I expected. But what did you expect from this? Like, did you? Whole thing is that did you expect for it to tag off of the first Mortal Kombat?
Well, see, that was something on second watch. That's something I kind of got over a little bit. But I realized when I first watched it, I was like, okay, there should be a lot more gore in this. There should be a lot more of that nitty-gritty Mortal Kombat. But then I remember, I was like, well, that's in the games. In the storylines, I played 10 and 11, Mortal Kombat 10 and 11, and those storylines in itself are complicated storylines. And I'm like, okay, I kind of talked to myself about this, while watching the second one. I was like, okay, well, in order to get to a point complicated, we have to start here. And it can't be all bloody and gory. And I remember when they were making the movie, the director was like, okay, well, for the fatalities to be in this movie, they have to make sense to be in the movie. So I'm watching the movie the second time. I go, okay, that kill made sense to be here. It doesn't make sense for, who was it? Sonya Blade to suddenly whip out laser guns and do I think she's the one with the bubble gum shoot 'em up thing. And I'm like, okay, that wouldn't make sense for her to just out of nowhere do that, because you would run out of characters by the 45-minute mark if they all did their fatalities and their moves. This was something that just introduced all the characters. It introduced, not all of the characters.
You know what I'm gonna say too? It's not all of the characters. And also another introduction to show you that this was introductory was the fact that, let's just say, what's his name? The one with the arms.
Dang it, Jax.
So he did a finishing move or potentially a fatality, because I don't play the game anymore.
Yeah, that was definitely a fatality.
But with it being a fatality, he didn't even say, that it was a fatality. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the newer characters, they're not recognizing the finish him, like we heard Scorpion say at the end, or fatality, or come over here, or whatever. Like, a lot of them are not saying that because they are not familiar with it. Because at the end of the day, they still haven't even reached the battle.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. This movie isn't even about the tournament. It's about the things that lead up to the tournament, which for those who are, I'm not that deep into the Mortal Kombat lore, but for those who are deeper in, even those at surface level like myself, we know that there's always a scrimmage like we see in this movie before the tournament, which is, Shang Tsung.
We should have really wrote these names.
I really should pull up my notes.
Listen, we're freeballing this, okay?
So and you guys, Mortal Kombat fans, you guys know the names, and if y'all watching, y'all know the names. Drop them in the comments. Shang Tsung, I believe that's his name, the main bad guy. He's always trying to have the one up on the Earth realm. He's always trying to. Matter of fact, a great example.
And this one, he's actually trying to destroy the Earth realm.
Yeah, and a great representation of that, as a matter of fact, will be the animated movie Mortal Kombat. It's an animated Mortal Kombat movie that came out not too long ago. That kind of sets up, because the exact reason that they do things in that movie is the exact reason they do things in this movie. So it's like, okay, well, that all makes sense. So they're kind of like the same story, just told drastically differently, but it's the same basic plot beats.
Okay, so I've like I said, I'm gonna go back and just touch on some comments I've heard. It doesn't have a storyline. It does have a storyline.
Yeah, it does.
Like I said, people went into looking for whatever they were looking for. So I mean, it practically begins with families fighting. You know, I'm gonna end your bloodline. No, I'm gonna end your bloodline. You know, stuff like that. And that's between Scorpion, Scorpion, and Sub-Zero, which they're not called Scorpion and Sub-Zero at the time.
Yeah, Hanzo and
this is showing character development. So at the time they're just trying to, you know, Scorpion is coming through like I'm about to kill them all, right? So anyway, this is how we end up with Scorpion still being able to be alive with his bloodline still being alive. Yeah. So that shows one storyline, the continuation of a storyline. So then we also have the fact that Sonya Blade and Jax are trying to find all the Earth fighters because they've done all this research and, you know, something else is going on. That's another storyline. So there are honestly several storylines in this that actually do come together to make what the storyline is, and which is potentially us getting together to have Mortal Kombat. And what I liked about the film as well was that it did kind of give us leeway to say, oh, we will be doing another Mortal Kombat. With the fact that, yes, all of the villains died or are dead. We know how, you know, Mortal Kombat do, they're dead. So, you know, the main villain, he was like, well, you know, we're coming back, but this time we're not coming back alive. So that's just, like I said, when a person dies, whatever, okay, boom, down, they didn't kill them off. But this is letting us know that, oh no, we're coming back. The same way Scorpion came back from the dead. So he was an example of them bringing characters back, or the ability for characters to come back from the dead. So I kind of
keep going.
Yeah, so I kind of was like, okay, but anyway, so that kind of got to me. What also got to me was the fact, you know, what pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie.
What?
When Sub-Zero came to get Scorpion's bloodline, and it started, you know, he had his little thing, it started snowing or whatever. Yeah. And they had fucking sweaters on, and they supposedly said it was July. I was like, who the hell wears a sweater in July? But you know, it might be somewhere else. You know, it might be Alaska. I don't know how that weather is.
Yeah, somewhere that's usually warm.
State. I don't know. Like, but July sweaters. Where that come from?
Right.
So that kind of had me like, and then also what had me too was Jax fighting Sub-Zero. Like that kind of pissed me off too. Like, bro, why you ain't been shoot that guy? I'd have been losing. Listen, I'd have been going off.
But he tried.
He tried too late. He tried too late. And you know what? Dave brought to my attention that Jax was ashtray bitch. For anybody who's seen,
he was a guy from A Fall from Grace,
yeah,
right?
So if anybody's seen that's the same person, and it's funny. I'm like, oh, you talking about the ashtray, but you can't fucking shoot a gun. You can't shoot a gun. You come up on him. I would have been on him walking. Yeah. You know, like damn. I've been laying his ass out. His movement was a little bit slow for me. What also got me too was I want to call him Laser Eye. Kano.
Yeah.
Him. I liked his character a lot in this, even though he was a villain, but became a villain. I like this character a lot. He was very funny.
Yeah, he was definitely a comedic relief.
Yeah, he was extremely funny in this, and I enjoyed his character a lot. Sonya Blade, how I thought about her. I thought she was straight. I mean, like I said, she's basic combat. You know, her and Jax as well, until, you know, he gets his little arms. So anyway, yeah, so I kind of enjoyed them too. I definitely like Scorpion. Well, his part at the end, I'll say, because of the fact that I'm like, well, damn. I felt that his fight with Sub-Zero at the beginning was a little weak.
You like at the beginning of the movie?
Well, yeah, at the beginning, yeah. I told you, I'm like, you just went up against like 50 people and you can't fight him?
Yeah, I attribute that to by that time he was.
Don't say he was tired. I don't want to hear it.
I'm gonna say he was exhausted. But no, I mean, and then on top of that, like, I don't know, Sub-Zero just came there to kill. Bihan came there to kill.
I mean, yeah, he did.
Like,
he was trying to.
And like I said earlier too, I said it's the person that's always sitting waiting for someone to come and fight them is the one that's always going to serve the ass whooping.
I don't know. Like I told you, Thanos kind of tried
Thanos
that.
had to get jumped in order
Thanos,
to
yo, they
lose.
was like, "What
They
the
had to come
trick?"
60,000 deep.
Yo, so I don't know.
Right now, we have someone that is ready to join in. A good friend of mine, Mike. I'm going to add you to. You ready to be in the screen? Well, guess what? I still got him on there. He's preparing. I got him in.
I didn't know that you were serious. I was just watching.
Oh
Oh my
yeah.
gosh!
I did, look. All right, so that's funny
I
story
didn't
about
know you
this.
was
Mike
serious.
is
So crazy.
I hope y'all can hear him. Um, he was telling me how I was mispronouncing some names and had a little gripe about not being invited to the stream. Which is funny because I was actually going to send him the invite to the stream earlier, but it kind of slipped my mind. So we have Mike here, who's a Mortal Kombat. I would
Fanatic.
say a bit of an expert. Am I right in
Hey,
saying
I'm gonna
that?
say everybody name
Connoisseur.
Kind of, sort of.
A connoisseur.
connoisseur.
My
Oh,
picture there shows my leg tat. I don't know if you can see it, but I have Sub-Zero actually tatted on my leg. So yeah, Mortal
oh,
Kombat's kind of my thing.
okay. So yeah, definitely definitely a Mortal Kombat guy here. So what was I pronouncing wrong, and what is your opinion on this movie, in general?
Oh,
Well,
it's Shang Tsung. It's Shang Tsung and it's
Mhm.
and Bihan, you know.
Okay.
I mean the movie in general. So
Mhm.
when it comes to me, and you know how we do movies, when it comes to
Right.
me, like I didn't expect it to be a good movie. There wasn't any A-list actors in it or anything like that. I didn't expect it to be a good. With that being said, I
Mhm.
appreciated the nostalgia. I
Yeah.
appreciated, what they were trying to do, and even what they did in general, with
Mhm.
bringing on a new character, with paying homage to the storyline, and a lot of people that don't play Mortal Kombat, after watching this movie, they said, you know what? I'm gonna go buy Mortal Kombat 11, or I'm gonna at least go watch my friends play it just cause. And then after even playing just a little bit, it's like, okay, that's why that happened, or that's why this person was in there. Like,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, go ahead.
it was a solid movie. It wasn't the best acting, but as far as a movie, I feel like it was
yeah,
solid.
I can agree with that.
I I would slightly disagree
Nah,
there.
I can agree. I can
I
agree with
liked a
that.
bit of the acting in there. I don't know. Maybe I was just infatuated by the amount of Asian actors, like actually authentic Asian
That
actors in the film. Maybe that kind
shit
of
that makes
distracted me
sense.
from maybe some things were acted a little poorly. Maybe that distracted me from that. But what I wanted to see more of, and I kind of mentioned this earlier, you probably heard me mention this, is that just the fatalities. And I realized that again, like I said already, I realized that that's not it's not feasible to put those things
But
in the movie all the time, especially with how some of them are carried out.
no, I mean, I feel like this is a starter
Uh,
movie. Like, where you gonna have room for something else to go if you want to put everything in one movie?
Right, and I agree with
Like
that.
what you? I think
so,
that the way they paced the stuff out was fine.
so with that, with the fatalities are just that, and I'm agreeing with Sam here because fatalities are exactly are in the title. With a fatality, you're technically killing a person. And yeah, in
Mm-hmm.
the Mortal Kombat timeline, people have been dead, brought back. Even after playing through the storyline of Mortal Kombat 11, everything basically restarted. Sorry for spoilers, but Mortal Kombat is starting over at this point. They're trying to make it big again. Um, and that what but certain fatalities were allowed to have, like Natira, for example. Natira is a character, out of 11 Mortal Kombat games, Natira has been a playable character in about 3 of them, so she was a throwaway character. That's why
Right,
they killed her the way they did.
Mm-hmm.
and that
Reiko
was the one with the
Reiko
wings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And she's like nobody know who she is. Even
Mm-hmm.
diehard fans just like, wait, is she real? Okay, I actually remember her from Deception. I actually, even Reiko, he's one of Shao Kahn's kids, but he doesn't really have an important role. He was a dope ass character in Mortal Kombat trilogy,
Mm-hmm.
but he's also a throwaway character because he doesn't have any development, any story behind him. Like he's one of Shao Kahn's many kids out there. Did they mention that in the movie? No, because it's not that important. Because he's also a throwaway character. He's a character that you can kill and not nobody care about.
Right, and you mentioned, you brought that up about these deep cut characters, and I actually like that because the one deep cut character and reference that I actually noticed was Nightwolf. They had a poster of Nightwolf in the background there. So I mean, with that, even with some Mortal Kombat fans who expected certain things in this movie, you can't deny for more, I'm not gonna say true fans, but for more notable fans who maybe just played like myself 10 and 11 and call themselves a fan.
I played that shit like back in the day.
Right, for people who are just a bit familiar with all the lore the past few years, those were things that kind of prove like, okay, the people who made this movie kind of they had a love for the property, which is again why I say this is definitely a first part to a series of movies.
But you saying this is the first part, but yet you want everything to happen in the first
and that
part.
is the complicated part about me riding that fence, though, because it's like, while I do understand it's the first part, I'm also in the camp that's like, I can see this not ever getting a continuation. So it's like,
no, but
I would rather throw a lot at the wall.
It might not get a continuation, but why put everything together and just say, oh, we're just gonna do this just because we might not? Why? Because that would have been movie overload. Then you've been talking about, I think they did a little bit too much, killing out everybody. Come on.
Well, not everybody. Okay. Well. All right. I don't know. Maybe it's the faceless army.
Movies end on cliffhangers. Movies end on cliffhangers, and they try to bring it back, and they're not 100% sure. Sometimes, I mean, the way it's leaning, the way everybody has been watching this, it might get a sequel. Hopefully, it does. They can make. They can turn this into a fast in Mortal Kombat, make 10 movies if they wanted to.
Oh my
Same
God.
thing with Power Rangers. Power Rangers, we're still waiting on Tommy to come back.
We're never getting that.
Who knows? never getting the Power Rangers too.
I highly doubt it at this point. And it was good, but we'll talk about that another time.
But then I'll say this: I like the way that the movie did end on a cliffhanger. Because I mean, it's like when watching a series and you don't know, like, this is the last series. Like it's rare. It was rare back in the days for you to know that, oh, this series isn't coming back. We've seen how many 90s sitcoms ended without them knowing that they left us on cliffhangers. So I think that, people so used to, oh yeah, this is gonna be definite, and now we want, like, just chill.
Like, question for you both.
Yeah.
Do you think people would have appreciated more as a TV show, a weekly show, like how they've been doing things?
That is an excellent question.
I don't think that it would have been a good weekly TV show. I don't think that it would have been. Let me think.
I will say that.
I mean,
it depends.
That was about 2 episodes right there.
Yeah, that was about a solid 2 1-hour episodes. I'll give you that.
Oh yeah.
If they expanded what we had, if they were able to somehow expand what we had into maybe 6 episodes.
I mean, that would have been more storyline, more dialogue, all of that stuff.
Yeah, it had gotten
couple different characters, couple people they could have killed.
And you could have had that faceless army little portion, so you could have more fatalities.
But then people would have been bitching if it came out as a whole series, if it came out weekly, like with everything. Like I don't think people ever gonna be satisfied. So it's just like, just do what you're gonna do and be true to what you're gonna do, because you can't satisfy everybody. That's how I feel about it. Like whether it was a series, whether it's a movie, however it comes out.
Yeah. So
and the fact that it got released in theaters, be grateful that your ass got to go out the house.
Right.
So yeah.
So let me ask you, Mike, and I also ask you this, Sam. With the action, like in terms of like the stunt choreography itself, how do y'all feel about that? Because I thought that I've seen some martial arts movies where I think it's about how fast the punches move and hit. And I feel like this one was it was right in the middle of too slow and just right.
Yeah,
I kind of felt like it was in the middle. What do you guys think of that?
I can agree to that because I mentioned something. I was like, okay, well that did move a little slow. At first it was moving, however, then after a while I was like, hold on, nah.
Yeah.
So I mean, but that's just a flaw. But to say overall, I would say that it was like it was. I think it was decent.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Mike?
I mean, I kind of like the fight scenes. I feel like they were trying to get the Mortal Kombat vibes. They were trying to just make it violent, not as violent as can be, but for a live action, they were trying. They hit some things on the head. Some things were pretty just like okay, could have been done a little better.
Okay. What about the new character we got? What do you think about him? And then some of the
who is he?
I forgot his name. Cole, is his name Cole Young, right?
Cole Young, brand new character. Somewhere down the line of Scorpion. Yeah. Scorpion's great grand or wherever they want to say.
Yeah.
I mean,
so that wasn't his son.
That wasn't his. Yeah. Wait, that wasn't his son.
Oh no, it's not even close to his son. Scorpion died in 1697. Bihan's still alive because he's from Outworld. That's like the lineage of Scorpion. Yes, that's the thing about Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat takes place all throughout history. That's why. Yeah, but he said I killed Hanzo centuries ago.
Yeah, and then too the fact that and then the fact that he was like protect the bloodline. I was like, damn, he not gonna hug his son.
That changes the movie for me in a way. Small way.
Because I mean, so at first I thought that was his son at first too, but then I was watching it with my girl and she even told me, like, first off, me not even paying attention. I mean, I know from Mortal Kombat that Hanzo only has one son, but then the little boy, when he went back, he said, I'm gonna go check on my sister. It wasn't his little brother that he was checking on. So Raiden saved the girl, and then the girl, like, had kids with whoever, and then it went on from there.
Yeah, I heard that, and I was like, okay, well, I was like, but I mean, a little bigger like a boy anyway, so
it did. Shit. Okay, well, that's interesting. Well, what about what do you think of him as a character as a whole?
I mean,
like if they added him to games tomorrow.
He need to work on his hands. I know that he can't really play. I wish they kept talking about him in the past. He might have been Rocky back then. I wish they would at least show some highlights.
Yeah.
That would have been that's something that a series could benefit from, showing him in his prime.
Mm-hmm. A little flashback.
Yeah,
I like him.
3 to 5 minute flashback in the movie too. So would a whole series episode be worth a whole flashback?
Yeah.
I mean, the way that they were discussing him, he was former champion. He had all the pictures, all the belts and stuff. Like, I thought he was going to get in the ring.
I ain't gonna lie, he was pissing me off though. Cause if you got a goddamn monster coming after you, don't bring your ass back to the house. I'm like, what you doing here?
I'm surprised they were still at the house. I would expect you to be gone, Sam.
I would have been.
Get your ass through that portal! Don't you come back! My bag's gonna be packed. Like, how did the suitcase get in the car? We just found out. What are you talking about?
I'm like, what's Sam doing? Packing all your shit. Ain't nothing here. He don't live here no more. Change your address.
Just a note on the door.
He is not here.
Oh man. I like Cole Young. I would play him if he was in another game.
I mean, I had to see more development.
That's the thing. For all that they did though, they better make him a playable character soon. I need some DLC or something.
Right.
Because he is not in the game. They should have put Yujinko in it for all that. Like, there's so many Mortal Kombat characters they could have chose. And I mean, I get it. You want to make something new, but hell, I want to use his little batons and shit in Mortal Kombat. Slice somebody up.
Right. Do you think the portrayal of all the other characters was accurate to the games? Because I had a problem with Raiden.
So no, Raiden was actually one that I found actually that they got on, because Raiden was one that he was a dick. And not a lot of people know that.
See, and like I said, with my second watch, I was like, okay, well, I realized that's because Raiden had a plan to get everybody to get their chi or whatever it was called, and be able to fight the right way and use their powers. But and then I also had to remember that younger Raiden was a little bit of an asshole. But I'm so used to older Raiden, so I'm like, older Raiden's so wise, he's so polite, he's so he's so much of a better person. Why the hell are we getting this asshole version? That's why I didn't like. That was my gripe.
Because the first couple tournaments, like you said, younger Raiden, he was just angry because Earthrealm was always losing, and he couldn't do anything about it besides bring losers to the fight. You bring people that's unprepared. You go into a fight knowing that you're gonna lose every year.
Listen, I'll be pissed off too. I swear, I'm like, like that, but that's the truth though.
Yeah.
But what I like though is, like I said, for me, like if I play Mortal Kombat, I'm gonna use the same move, right? So that part I like because it was like true to the game, like a basic player, me, just using the same move. I'm gonna kick his feet from under him. I'm gonna kick his feet from under him. Oh, he gonna jump again. Guess what? I'm gonna kick his feet from under him. So that's me. So I kind of like that because that was true to the game for me anyway. Yep. I was like, shit, that's me right there. You're gonna keep doing it. You're damn right. You got you down, right?
Right. That's how you play. Dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean overall, like I said, the movie was fine. If I'm gonna give an overall general consensus, the movie was fine. We all pretty much are on the same page that this sets up all the characters involved, even when they die. I know they're coming back.
Yeah, he
in future installments.
He already said that.
So I mean, I think we're all on the same page with that. So, Mike, I'm gonna ask you first since you're our guest tonight, and we do thank you for joining us as well. What would you give this film from 1 to 5? 1 to 5 stars. What are you giving this film?
Oh, I'm a tough grade though. I mean, 1 to 5. Like I said, it paid a lot of homage. The acting was spotty at best, but I'm also a big fan. So I can say a 3. I would say as a fan.
I thought Sam was harsh.
No, I mean, because as a fan, like I will watch, but I know as somebody that doesn't know anything about Mortal Kombat, you would say, okay, this movie is moving kind of fast. It looks kind of cheesy, kind of extra. But as somebody that then came up the whole way, that knows exactly what's going on, you can understand a little bit. So I mean, it's worth it. It's worth it. There's a lot worse movies out there. Let's say that.
I mean, but based off of what you're saying,
it's worth the view.
Based off of what you're saying, like what you're saying agree with a lot of the comments that I've read related to it. And I mean, saying it in that sense, like, okay, because I mean, like, it's like me going with Death Note, the live action version of Death Note, which really pissed me off. So I get it, like being a diehard fan of something, and then they give you some bullshit. So
that was fucking horrible.
Like, I get it, but me,
I mean,
like, no, I'm just saying, like for me, with, like I said, I played like way back in the days. Like, I mean, probably what was it on the whatever? I ain't gonna say the system
in the arcades. You're saying the arcades. We know what arcades
just
are.
like playing it back in the days, actually having the opportunity to like actually see it remade and the potential development with it. Like I said, I agree with some of the acting. Like, it was pissing me off a little bit. Like I said, some of the fight scenes were a little spotty to me. And then like I said, so that kind of stuff stuck out to me as well. Just watching the film for whatever it may be. Like I said, not being a diehard fan. So I definitely get it on your end for being a fan and rating it like that. And like I said, your rating is consistent with the ratings of others who feel the same way. I'm like, what? You thought that? I was like, damn. So yeah, I get it.
It hit a couple points. Action, good. You know, there was a story. So yes, the character development was decent as well. Comedy, yes, I was laughing at certain points. The funniest line in the movie was said by Cabal, and I think it went over a bunch of people's heads, but my perverted ass noticed. Um, and it hit a bunch of points. Did you notice what Cabal said, Dave? Like, did anybody else
Uh,
laugh
oh yeah,
right
the
before Kung Lao died?
soul sucking thing, right?
Uh,
Yeah,
That's
he said,
already a
"Oh
meme
yeah,
too. Funny enough,
your
I
friend's
thought it
about
was
to
gonna
get
take
his
a couple
soul
days.
sucked." I love.
I thought it was gonna take a couple days for that to be a
that wasn't the
meme.
only
It's out
reference.
there
They had the
now.
anal beads too. So
No, as soon as he said, I had to rewind that thing like 3 times. He said, "Hey, your friend's about to get his soul sucked." I love the screams right before it happens. Whoa, buddy!
Who was Cabal? Cabal sounded like Owen Wilson to me, but I know it wasn't. That's
Um,
just it was a throwaway
yeah,
comment. But
I don't know. He did Cabal pretty decent too. Like that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Like characters like that, you know, it was pretty spot. It was pretty good. They paid homage to a lot of things.
yeah.
I give it a 3.4. 3.4.
3.4. Oh, okay. So we got him to raise it up a little bit. All right. Thanks, Owen Wilson Cabal. If that was really you. What about you, Sam? What are you giving it? I know it's a lot. It's a lot of opinion change going on
nah,
around
there's
here.
no opinion change. I'm gonna give it a 4.
You're
I'm
for
gonna
it?
give it a 4 for what I thought it was worth, and like I said, as a person not being a diehard fan, so
Okay.
now if I'm gonna start playing the game and just go through all that stuff, my opinion might change. But as of right now, like from what I see and just deducting like the little basic shit that where I feel like they could have improved on.
Mm-hmm. I'm a ride on a Ooh, the pressure's on for me, right? I'm a ride
You
on
should have went
the.
first.
I should have,
Because I
right?
know you're gonna do some
Let's say best for
bullshit.
last. I'm a ride on a 3.9 though.
I knew he's gonna
I'm
do
gonna
that. I
ride on
knew
a
it. I knew
3.9
it.
because I'm
Yo,
removing.
Mike, if you wasn't on here, he would probably give it. I'm gonna give this thing a 4.5. I'm gonna give it a 4.8. Like he's straight tripping.
No.
4.5.
I'm doing that because I'm writing off of. I'm taking away a lot of things that I didn't like, putting things in a new light, a different light. Which on the second viewing, I changed my opinion a lot, but I still just am in the camp of people who say it should have been bloodier, it should have been more violent. I'm not changing that. I would have liked to see a little bit more blood and violence. It's just what I would like to see.
I mean, I thought it was enough though.
I think that's more for Mortal Kombat 2 though, because
Yeah.
if they do get a second one, they can add more characters in there and they can throw. I was expecting to see somebody like, especially with the villains that they brought in, I was expecting to see somebody like Kenshi, like a whole bunch of good. We need some good guys on that side.
I swear, because it's not a lot of them.
Yeah,
it's not.
I know for the next one they're going Johnny Cage.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought it was gonna be like a reenactment of the '90s one, like just like the same thing, like they've been doing like with the Lion King and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was gonna be something like that. So that's what my expectation was. So I think that's why, like, I was like, oh shit, they didn't do that. Like, so
yeah, it was. I'm glad they didn't do it.
I love the different direction though. I'm about to say I do love the different direction.
Yeah, so I'm glad it wasn't
that
like
was a good take.
Yeah, so like I said, it started to build them up. So I think that's what got it for me too, as opposed to like I said, what the '90s was, and of course with the animation in this one and it looked better.
Yeah,
because the guy, I don't know his name, so the guy with the arms
Goro looked real good.
No, not Jax. I know what Jax's name is.
Oh, Goro.
Yeah,
Goro.
So I like the way he looked way
Prince
better.
Goro, to be exact.
Yeah.
There you go, the deep cuts.
So he looked way better than me, and like I said, so of course, I mean, technology or whatever the case may be, but that did it for me. And like I said, just the fact that it didn't like piggyback off of the one before, it took its own direction. So that got it for me too. Which I think really got it a lot of shit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This movie is taking an unnecessary amount of shit, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's people talk a lot of shit in general, but that's because, like I said, people went into it expecting it to be a good movie. People went into it expecting it to be, an Avengers start, like a Deadpool franchise. Like, you can't expect that with actors that you can't with non-household name actors. It's unfortunate. Not saying that there's not good movies out there because this is how actors get their start. This could be their start.
Right.
But it's hard to come in.
Yeah. So with that said, and I'm gonna give it a second rating. Just off the strength of, if this is the beginning of a trilogy, I'll give it a higher rating. But I'll stay with my 3.9, just basic. But if knowing that if this could be the beginning of a franchise, it gets a higher rating.
But that should already be included in your first rating. What you think it was going to be, what the movie was, and where.
Well, I can't just.
Okay, what is it?
All right.
What is it?
I'm.
Okay, what is it?
It's like a 4.
Come on, because I already knew. Come on.
It's like a 4-2.
I already knew.
As a starter for a franchise, it's a 4-2.
See, like, who you trying to fool?
As an individual movie, it's a 3.9.
Shut up. Just shut up. I knew it. I
can see that, but you gotta think about it. The movie as a whole, even if they didn't do good acting wise, think about how much more production it would have got, how much more not production, promotion it would have got if, like, Jackie Chan played Shang Tsung. It would have been like, oh shit, I'm definitely gonna see Mortal Kombat. Right. Anybody, if they had, like, and like household name actors in there as somebody that would have brought life to the movie, but somebody gotta get their start.
Yeah.
And if it is a starter, I kind of can. That's why I can kind of boost my rating if it is a starter. Not as high as a 4. I wouldn't go there. I got to see the second one.
Right. Well, I think that's it. If anybody else have anything to say about it before we wrap this thing up?
No, I mean, I'm cool with it. Like I said, I think it's a good watch for people who aren't as deep into, the kids like this.
Oh yeah, this is really funny. A lot of kids do like this movie. So it's a family film, guys. An R-rated family film.
Yeah.
It's like Deadpool, a love story.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely perfect.
Technically, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all I have to say about it. Mortal Kombat now available on HBO Max and in theaters. Make sure you guys check it out. Thank you, Mike, for joining us tonight. We really appreciate that. It added a lot of opinion.
It added Dave changing his opinion a lot. But that's cool.
Catch me on a movie I really like. Then we'll see how it goes. But until next time, guys. This is BrickWall Reviews. Make sure you guys leave a like down below. Share this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And we will see you guys.
I will see you Tuesday. I'm considering doing the Demon Slayer. I'm kind of itching to do that one. And I'm also starting the Misfits of Demon Academy. I want to say I'll write the name on Facebook, but it's the Misfits of Demon Academy, and that's on Crunchyroll. So I'm starting that little 1-season series. And yeah, like I said, Demon Slayer, that's out in theaters now. Bring some tissue with you.
Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is a dope movie. You guys definitely make sure you check that out in theaters now. And
that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe.
Stay safe. Be
wear
easy, everybody.
mask.
Wear your mask. And just because you're vaccinated doesn't mean you can walk around like the old people on South Park.
You can still catch that
shit. You can still catch it. Guys, everybody be safe. And until next time, peace.